Competing for me is getting to get on stage and show all of your hard work, all the dedication, all the discipline, all the time. And as a musician, I was never really able to conquer my performance anxiety. Now looking back, I don't think it was the right stage for me. And now I think bodybuilding and competing on stage is where I'm supposed to be. I found Darc sport when I was in the darkest time I have ever been in. I was in a place where I did not want to live anymore. For me, it was a culmination of two events. The first being my dad passing away suddenly in March of 2020. It was extremely unexpected. He was just a couple months away from retirement. My dad had put off his hopes and dreams and vacations and time with family until he retired. So it got me that he was so close to really living his life the way he wanted to, and it was unfortunately cut short and he didn't get to. So that made me kind of have the realization that, what am I waiting for? My life could change in an instant. It could be taken away from me in an instant. And I'm going to have spent all this time not pursuing what's really in my heart. And, when I think about bodybuilding and competing, I think about getting to live my life authentically and pursuing my dreams because my dad didn't get to. And I think that he would have wanted me to just go for it. So that was the first thing that really pushed me into bodybuilding and getting into competing. And then in May of 2022, I was raped by someone I trusted in my own home. And it devastated my whole world. I thought I had found rock bottom after my dad passed away, and in ways I had, but it wasn't until that happened to me that I really found rock bottom. In the weeks after, I stopped sleeping, I stopped eating, and eventually I did report to the police. And I thought that that would bring me some sort of peace, that finding justice would bring me peace, and ultimately it did not. I started turning to drugs and alcohol shortly after that to cope. I was high all the time. I would drive around for hours after I got done with work. And then when I would go home, I would drink every night. Eventually, I lost my job and I lost my home. And I started to be more honest with the people around me about what was going on. But there's a lot of shame that comes with sexual assault. There's a lot of guilt that comes with it. Society always wants to point the finger back to you and, what were you wearing? Were you drunk? Did you give him reason to? Did you say no? And I have struggled with that shame ever since. You see sexual assault on SVU and whatnot, but it really doesn't do justice what it's actually like to go through it. No one talks about how isolating it is, how alone you feel, and how you watch the people around you try so hard to help you, but nothing helps, nothing makes you feel better, nothing makes you feel safe. And I remember when I reported my sexual assault, they had me do a cold call with my rapist. And the last thing I told him before I got off the phone was that the one person I wanted in the world that could make me feel safe and protected and loved and cared for in the ways that I needed to was my dad. And that was the one person I couldn't have. Even when I was at the worst spot that I was in this process, it almost pushed me even harder to what I've always wanted. And bodybuilding in particular, I didn't want to let what happened to me define me and who I am and what my life was going to look like. I wanted to decide what my life looks like and who I am from this. And so the one thing that kept me going was the thought of competing, the thought of stepping on stage, the thought of getting to reclaim myself, my life, my body. Seeing that motto, to never fucking give up, when I was at the darkest spot I've ever been in, reminded me that there's more to life than what I've been through. I can choose what my life looks like. To be honest with you, part of me doesn't even feel worthy to be a part of the Darc sport family, but when I look at the athletes, everybody has a fucked up history. Everybody has a past. And if they do, then so can I. I can have a past. I can have a life that wasn't so easy and have been through things that I thought I wasn't going to come out from, because I see them and what they've made out of themselves. And maybe I can do that too. My name is Catherine. Darc sport, never fucking give up.
Bullshit, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Stop making fucking excuses and just fucking do it. You have to be willing to do whatever it takes. The harder you work at anything in life, the faster you're going to get to your goal. It will always be like that in everything we do.